Is it .com? This .com? Yeah.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you in one shot at this.
And welcome into the MPSSAA State Championship Soccer Games here at MPSSAA.com as we bring you a full slate of games on this Saturday afternoon here. It's a beautiful Saturday here in Catonsville, Maryland at UMBC Stadium. Ben Simpson and Mike Cerrone on the call for you. Got the Class 1A Boys State Championship game, followed by the Girls State Championship game, and then we have the 2A State Championship games following. That's a full slate of games, partner, and we're going to see some pretty good soccer as we got some very talented teams from around the area as I welcome in my partner here, Mike Cerrone, as we're actually going to pause here for a moment for the national anthem. On our camera here, a beautiful afternoon at UMBC Stadium here in Catonsville, Maryland, as we bring you the MPSSAA state title game here for the boys single A championship between the Washington Jaguars and the Brunswick Railroaders. And now I will introduce my partner in crime for today's slate of action here, Mike Cerrone. And partner, there's nothing quite like the state championship games here, especially the sport of soccer. And we got a pretty darn good matchup here in the Jaguars and the Railroaders. Washington 12-4 on the year. This was a team that lost in the state semis last year. And Brunswick, meanwhile, they've had a nice little run, and they're led by a very talented player, Drew Demich. 17-1-1 for Brunswick. So overall, we're going to expect a pretty intense game out of these two squads.
You know what, Ben? You know that we're both two Virginia boys, but Maryland, the great state of Maryland, has just as good, even if not better, sports than Virginia does. I'm not going to say who has the better sports, but Maryland, I know Maryland for a fact, has a very good soccer team in the University of Maryland, and this whole entire state of Maryland has great soccer in high school sports. And you know what, looking at Brunswick right now and Washington, both these teams deserve to be here with their records. Washington at 12-4 and Brunswick at 17-1. So both these teams can definitely take it to the house, get a lot of goals as we've seen in these records. And you know what, I'm ready for a big game today, man.
And Brunswick High School returns to the state finals for the second time in 3 years. The Railroaders have shut out 11 opponents this season, and have scored 77 goals. This year, the school record for wins in a season was broken and tied for the number of goals in a game with 11. And 2012 marks the second straight undefeated season in MVAL Antietam Division. BHS tied the 3A state finalist Urbana in the Frederick County Championship this season. And of course, we mentioned Drew Demich, the all-time leading scorer with 82 goals. As we're about ready to get started here for this ball game.
And here we go.
And in the yellow jerseys will be the Brunswick Railroaders. They'll be moving from left to right on your screen. The Jaguars in the white, they'll moving from right to left as we are underway here. As we expect a pretty darn good soccer game matchup.
But then don't forget about Washington Jaguars. Kyle Simpkins, number 11, 33 goals on the season and 12 assists. And his dynamic partner, Zach Muir, number 23, with 25 assists, all coming to Simpkins.
Throw in for Washington along the right side of the box. Gets headed out, still maintained by the Jaguars as they'll work the right side here. Tries to send that ball along the left side. Gets a head on it, but it will head out of bounds. And as you can probably hear on our crowd microphone, it is a windy afternoon here in Catonsville, Maryland. It's plenty of sunshine here, but
sun's still rising.
Yeah, the sun is still rising. We're a little cold up here in the press box, but hey, we'll be warmed up by the wonderful soccer being played this afternoon. As the ball will work towards the center of the field, taken by Washington. As again, they'll go on the offensive attack as they send that one outside the box. They try to get the ball to one of their players there, number 2. As I would still maintained by the Jaguars. There we go. Had to get that roster out there, partner. Justin Poole, number 2 for. That's actually Brunswick. As it's again a throw in here for the Jags.
You can say the Railroaders are really, I guess you can consider them the favorite. But looking at this game right now, Washington's taking the early possession.
So when they send out just outside the boxes, they'll get that one back for the Railroaders, now taken by the Jags. They'll send that one right side towards the middle, headed a little bit there along the right outside the box as it's picked up by the keeper. Boots that one away to around midfield along the far sideline. So far early on here, the Jaguars of Washington have been able to control the ball for the most part. Throw in far side for Brunswick, taken right back by the Jags as they'll send that just outside the box. Again, in yellow, Brunswick Railroaders. Plenty of supporting fans for both sides and a beautiful stadium here at UMBC as that ball is sent along the right side. Trying to take it away is Brunswick as they'll work during that far sideline, and they do a nice job sending that one up the field, prevent the attack there along the far sideline. Noon here in Maryland. And again, Jaguars are just on the attack. Brunswick trying to keep that ball out. Will Overholt sends that to the right side. Trying to cross it in the middle. And again, Brunswick having trouble getting that ball out of the box, Mike. Not a whole lot of being able to send it up the field. It's been a lot. They've been definitely back on their heels here early on as we're just underway in the first half.
Definitely agree. Brunswick's playing some pretty darn good defense right now. Obviously, Washington's got a few good crosses in there that they've got a head on, but really haven't had a chance to put it on net with the angles they've had.
They send that one back towards the middle. Launches one of the few shots, and it goes right into the hands of the keeper. Few unfamiliar numbers here for some of these teams, not exactly on the list that we were given. But we'll do the best we can. As again, the Jags try to send that towards the box, and again, Brunswick trying to keep them out. They'll work it back here along the near sideline to Richard Cavins. He sends that to the keeper.
Brunswick trying to possess it now, Ben. We'll have to see if they can get anything on attack. That's a foul on Washington. A doable free kick right here. Is the Mitch going to take this one, Ben?
Washington.
He's definitely, again, one of the names to watch for Brunswick, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Again, a fantastic goal scorer.
Looks like Zach Muir is going to take it. That's what it's looking like right now. He might try to serve it up and see if they can get a nice diving header in there.
Ben Mitchell beside him as well. It'd actually be Mitchell as he'll leave it. Set towards the top and just flicked over the net. A good look for Brunswick early on after they had kind of been on their heels as they send that one just above the goal. That means a corner kick coming here just about 4.5 minutes into this ball game. Excuse me, 6.5 minutes. He's taking the corner, be Alex Beal. He'll send that one. Goalie tries to get a hand on it, bounces in front of the goal and sent away by Washington. Dangerous play there as Brunswick had a good look as the keeper for Washington went down for a second trying to get that ball. Ryan Freeze, I believe, is the keeper for Washington. 9 saves for him last game. Is now on the counter-attack. The Jaguars, it deflects off of one of the Railroaders, which means we got ourselves a corner coming.
Let's see what Washington can do on their corner attack. Right there we saw Brunswick with a nice little cross in there by Beal. And the goalie, Fries, man, that's a risky play. You know what, that's what goalies are supposed to be. They're supposed to be risky and try to save their team from getting scored on. I'll give Fries props right there. He actually did a good play. I would have do the same thing.
Corner kick coming. Left footer. Curves that one towards the box. Goalie goes up to try and get it. Gets hit out. Which means we got ourselves another one. Still no score here early on. First half of play. The Jaguars and the Railroaders trying to win a state title game.
Martel Vini right there on the header. It looked like it nicked off him, but it looked like it might have gone off a defender right there of Brunswick because that's what the side judge called. Looked like a little deflection, but when in doubt, Washington gets the corner.
Again, the left-footed kicker there from the corner of the field. Again, sends a nice curving kick into the hands of the keeper. 2 corners stopped by Brunswick as they'll send that one to midfield. Fight won by Brunswick in the air. Along the right side, Alex Beal, number 11, as that gets flicked away. And I believe we have a corner coming for Brunswick now.
For Washington. Into the game for Washington is number 6, Brian Thornton.
About 8:10 into this first half. Still no score. Again, we thank you for joining us here on this Saturday at noon. Again, 4 games for you. MPSSAA.com. Short corner as they try to send that back to the box. A little miss hit there as it's taken by Washington. Taken right back by Brunswick as they send that one towards the box. Getting his foot on that, Anthony Lukens. As he sends that to the keeper, Freeze, excuse me. Jaguars on the counter attack. A beautiful move. Left side of the box. Tries to keep it on the ground right into the hands of the keeper. Good look there for Washington. Couldn't convert.
That was Martel Vini again. He's a defender getting in the action on the offensive end.
Brunswick running a little bit here along the right side. Beal with the ball. He loses it. Taken by the Jaguars. They send it back to midfield. Again, Washington has been on the attack all game. Still maintained by the Jaguars, taken right back.
Right off the ref right there.
Couple deflections. Again, Simpkins, the name to watch for Washington. The guy's unbelievable. They send that one to the box. Taken by the keeper. Not a whole lot of these shots early on have had a whole lot on them. Pretty easy to handle by the keeper so far. Cooper Siegel. Again, the Jaguars work here just outside the box, trying to set something up. Fires towards the right corner. Goes just out. Good look.
For Washington, into the game for Washington, number 9.
For the Jaguars.
Marcus Fontaine.
Looks like Brunswick right now is just trying to find their identity in this game. Washington's kind of outmatching them on the offensive end. But Ben, as you said, a lot of these shots that have been on Siegel right now are not really anything contesting at being a goal.
It was Fontaine on the shot. He's listed at number 9. I think they might have switched up the jerseys on us this game. It was Fontaine there. Throw-in coming here for Washington. We'll try to pick up what the new jerseys are as we go along. Brunswick has it. It's a one-on-one situation. Right side of the box. Trying to work it. Fires it. And it's high along the right side. As that was number 11, Alex Beal, getting into the action early on.
Beal, I mean, geez, this guy is a quickster, Ben. This guy is burning left and right. It's right when he gets that first touch, the afterburners, he turns them on real quick. Ends up getting up down the field. Right there, taking a nice shot on, almost on net. Just hit and missed the top right corner by about a foot or two.
They'll launch that one down the field.
Washington.
They work near the midfield.
Here comes Brunswick, trying to see if they can get any offense going.
Motion on Brunswick. Direct free kick, Washington.
It looks like we might have actually, as it is Washington here taking this kick, as they'll send that one into the box along the right side, trying to get a foot on it, was Kyle Simpkins, and we apologize. That was our mistake again. Washington, excuse me, is the school in, I guess, in the maroon and gold this game, partner.
I think they both have the exact same colors for their school colors, so that's a little mistake on our part. I apologize for that inconvenience.
Well, we got it all squared away now, and I'm sure anyone involved with these teams, as I was wondering, because there's Kyle Simpkins, number 11, for Washington, as he'll work along the near sideline. So we have that all cleared up for you. Getting it all out here early on, Mike, in the first game of the day. So we'll make sure we have that. 26:33 remaining in the first half. Still no score between these two teams, as Washington has a throw-in here on the near sideline. It's number 15, Noah Daniels, one of the defensemen, coming all the way down to throw the ball in here, as he'll try to send that right side of the box, taken by Brunswick as they try to send that up the field. Still maintained by the Railroaders as they'll try to launch one down there. Taken by Washington, off the head, fighting at midfield. Again, the battle in the air. Always a fun one to see. As they'll work along the right side as Brunswick. I've been.
This colors got us all mixed up. I tell you, they listed have the exact same colors on this roster we have here. But we got it all figured out now, just in time.
Dustin Williamson sends it into the box to Brennan Fowler as he launches it at the goalie. And I believe that was Drew Demitch on that shot, number 8, as he sent that one right to the keeper. That gets taken and scooped up.
Now that we know the colors, all the jerseys are correct. We found our problem there, partner.
Exactly. We were looking at these rosters saying there's no way. There's no way they would change up that many numbers. But so Freeze, your goalie, on the left side of the screen.
Throwing for Washington.
As
In the
again,
game for Washington is number 22.
Washington
Ryan
moves
Bozeman.
from left to right on your screen. Brunswick from right to left. As Washington throwing here just outside the box. They're in the maroon and gold. Nice little ball there, but the defenseman comes out, snags it away. 24-15 remaining first half. Still no score between these two teams. We expect a great one in the Class 1A boys state title game. Give you a little bit of the road for both of these teams in a moment. As now Brandon Fowler works along the right side. Zach Hostler trying to snag that ball as Hostler controls it in the right corner. Had to kick that out. It's going to be a corner now. Washington able to beat North Carroll 6-2 last game. Meanwhile, Brunswick throw victors over Havre de Grace.
Corner kick, Brunswick.
Brunswick coming out of that 1A West. Washington coming out of the 1A East. As we have a corner here, left footer. Again, great corner, tips it towards the box. Goalie Freeze gets a hand on it.
A Washington throw in. A throw in for Brunswick.
Looks like Noah Daniels in goal today. I'm used to seeing Freeze. He played last game. Noah Daniels, the keeper today. Just outside the box now. They'll work here. Left side, feeling some pressure. Hands it off. Good look from Ty Foltz. Ball still bouncing around, trying to get a foot on it. Brandon Fowler had a foot on it. We have a whistle here.
They're calling a PK.
Our first penalty kick of this ball game. And looks like Drew Demitch will be taking this one.
Who else?
A hand on Washington in the penalty box. Yellow card given to Washington's number 12, Martel Vaney. This will be a penalty kick.
Penalty kick coming for Demitch.
22:30 left in this first half. Demitch, if he can score on this, that'll put him up.
Here's a look, the PK. He goes right, goalie saves it. Dives to his left. That's Freeze on the save. Beautiful look by Freeze. He gets his left. His left. Demitch was going to his right. The man and the ball connect on a beautiful save here early on, but going on the attack right there again. That one's floating right outside the box, trying to get a foot on it. Finally diving out and grabbing that ball was Mr. Freeze.
Freeze is on the top of his game right now. He knows this is a big-time stage. This is a state championship tournament. You gotta be on your game, and right there, saving that PK to keep the game 0-0 is a big win right there.
Now on the attack is Washington here. They'll work. Levin Johnson sends it to the left side. Now taken back by Brunswick.
Here comes Brunswick. It's Justin Poole.
Brunswick sends a great ball here, left side, trying to get across here. Nathaniel Iben. Number 12 working with it. He's got 2 defenders right on top. He can't do a whole lot there as it's sent out of bounds. It's going to be hard for him to be able to work, and he possibly could send that back to Justin Poole there, number 2, but decides to try to make a move. It gets kicked out. Throw-in coming here for Brunswick. The Railroaders of Brunswick High School. 17-1-1 on the season. They send a beautiful throw in there along the far side. The keeper was trying to get that ball. One of the defensemen got their foot on it, ended up going out of bounds, so that's going to be a punt here.
Nathaniel Even right there, the freshman, or the senior, I should say. I read that wrong. The senior right there getting his foot on it, missed left by about a foot, Ben. I tell you, Brunswick, now that we got these jerseys correct, I tell you, 17-1-1 is an impressive record, and they're showing it right now with their attacking core.
Washington regional champions for the 3rd year in a row. They've had a great run as they'll work right side of the box. Sends that one, tries to get a head on it as it goes just out of bounds. Good look for Brunswick. Get the number on that player in a moment.
Take a look at this, Ben. 20 minutes so far gone in this game. Already 11 shots for Brunswick.
Joe Foley on the attempted header. We're under 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. This is that type of game where you got to feel it's going to be tight throughout. As a poor clear there, as Dimich was able to get on that ball. Excuse me, that was Dimich who got on that ball. And so Brunswick has it right back. Sends that one left side of the box. Might have gone a little too far as they're going to head that out. Justin Poole gets his head on it. That's going to be a kick here for Washington.
Again, Justin Poole, only a freshman, starting in this Brunswick lineup, though, so that can just tell you right there, folks, what kind of skills this young man possesses.
Under 19 minutes to go first half. No score. Washington and Brunswick here in the Class 1A state title game in boys soccer. MPSSAA.com. Washington trying to send that one along the near sideline, taken away by Brunswick. They'll work here. Tries to center that one to Dimich. He gets the ball free. Foley sends it along the right side. Works just outside, right side of the box. Back to Foley from the top. Sends it now to the corner to Iben. Iben works against the defender. Ball gets loose. Great takeaway there by Richard Cavins. Still maintained by Brunswick. They'll send that one just outside of the box. Too many defenders right there, but taken back on the foot. Right side. Shot goes high. Good look for Brunswick.
Yeah, Brunswick right there. You see that ball movement, Ben? That's like Major League Soccer, like at its finest right there. Because if you look at it, that's exactly what MLS teams do. They possess the ball, they make sure they have possession, and keep the ball in their attacking zone. So hopefully the defense slips up a little bit so they can get an open look at the net.
That was Hostler on the attempted shot there. Zach Hostler, the junior, midi. Brunswick, the time of possession definitely in Brunswick's favor throughout this first half so far, but I'll tell you what, Washington, when they've made their runs, they've made some good ones as they put a lot of pressures. They have a good one right now. They send that along the right side. That's Kyle Simpkins working in the right corner, fighting for that ball. It floats out of bounds, and it's going to be
a goal kick.
Goal kick.
Kyle Simpkins, it looks like they're trying to double team him every single time he has a touch on the ball, which, I mean, having over 30 goals this season, I would too if I was the coach.
Goal kick here. Sent away for Washington. Excuse me, for Brunswick. Soon by halftime, we'll start not making any mistakes.
I tell you, these colors both these teams have are almost exact same.
Brunswick sends that across midfield. And again, they go on the attack, taken away by Washington. Working with the ball, Zach Muir. Sends that through a couple defenders. Trying to go on the counterattack here. They got some room here along the near sideline. They tried to send it ahead to Simpkins, but taken away by Brunswick. As they'll send that one down the field, near side here, left side of your screen before it's launched out of bounds by
the fans just
15,
got hit.
Noah Daniels.
Oh, man.
Daniels put a lot behind that one, I'll tell you that.
I hope that young lady's all right down there.
16 minutes to go here, first half, still no score. Throw-in coming for Joe Fawley. He sends it to Williamson, back to Fawley. Back to Williamson now. Dustin Williamson sends that great kick to the box. Goes off ahead, bounces at the top of the box. Maintained by Fowler. Over to Colin Shields. He'll send that one high in the air, taken by the keeper, Ryan Freese.
You know, I have to say, Ben, is Daniels with his 6'1" frame right there for Washington is playing a pretty darn good game on the Brunswick attack right now. It's a great center back to have in your arsenal.
Ball at midfield now as Washington goes on the counter attack. Again, trying to find Simpkins in a good spot. Sending that one is Muir. Trying to dump a little pass there in front of the box. As Brunswick finally gets a foot on that one. And Simpkins and Muir, two names to watch as that one sent along the far sideline. Some of the scoring so far for Brunswick this year. Drew Mitch, the statistical leader. 22 goals. Of course, his career goals has been having a great season. It's a couple of assists. Nathan Iben, the big assist man, 21 on the season. Zach Hostler, 12 goals, 12 assists. Joe Fawley, 8 goals, 11 assists. 3 of those 4 names seniors, but they got Hostler coming back next season, which is good for them. This team scored 77 goals this year.
A throw-in for Brunswick into the game for Brunswick.
Pretty even there as Washington has scored 72, so you can tell these offensives are pretty even. As Brunswick works just outside the box, they send it to Fowler. He drops it to the left corner to Vinyl, number 7. He took some contact there too, as Vinyl. Picking his spots. Goes off the defender, Fontaine. Fontaine now with the ball. Sends it back. Vinyl has it now. Tries to get it to the left corner to number 8, Robert Horner. Whistle here as Horner went down. Or excuse me, that was number 8, Drew DeMitch, who went down, number 8 for Brunswick.
Drew DeMitch with a little bit too much of leg in there, tripping up the Jaguars' defense, getting the foul called.
And he wasn't really happy about that call, but he'll go right after the ball. And again, Drew DeMitch, the big battle between DeMitch and Simpkins here, the two studs for both sides. Throw-in coming here for Brunswick.
55 goals between the both of them combined in one season is an incredible remark right there.
Go ahead and place a call to DeMitch, bring him over to the other team, and you have those two guys as your forwards.
Yeah, it's an automatic Maryland State title right there.
Pretty much.
Not saying that the other players on both teams are not good enough. They obviously help. Soccer's a team game, but both these scores are too perennial to actually combine, I guess, or what? I don't know. I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying out there.
Washington, number 13.
Brunswick tries to send that one towards the box as it went out of bounds. A couple subs coming in from both sides. We'll keep you as updated as we can on the subs coming in and out. As with soccer here at the state level, there's going to be subs all the time. Getting some fresh legs out there as the two number 5s work against each other, Joe Fawley and Will Overholt.
11 minutes and change left in this first half. Still tied up at 0-0 here on the campus of UMBC.
We'll be doing a little halftime show at half of this. Go over this first half. Not a whole lot of scoring to talk about, but a
few stats to talk about, though.
A few stats
that are pretty critical of this game so far.
Fowler tries to send that to the middle. Instead, it bounces back out to Williamson. Ball goes off a few heads. Vinyl, number 7, works for it. Sends it back to Williamson. Williamson to Fowler. Bounces it over to Fawley. Trying to work it, that ball to DeMitch. Back here to Williamson. Vinyl Left side, makes a little move, has some room, trying to cross this ball. But it ends up at the feet of Washington. Still working a possible cross as they'll send that one. It'll be a corner kick. And there's some big defenders there for Washington. It's going to be hard to get that ball past some of these talents, especially number 15, Noah Davis.
Jaguars right now are averaging, by my calculations, 6'0", which is pretty much 6 foot in general, as usually people say it. And that's a pretty good margin right there for high school students. 6 foot is a great arsenal for your backs.
10:29 remaining in the first half as Brunswick sends that one along the far post, touched by the keeper. And they're going to say that one went out of bounds, so we have another corner here.
Brunswick's 5th corner of the game. I'm telling you, Ben, if Brunswick can get a decent corner around the 6-yard box that Freeze does not punch out, that ball's going in.
Freeze, the keeper for Washington. Foltz, the keeper for Brunswick, number 1.
Freeze so far has punched out 3 of the 4 corners so far. This is the 5th one coming up for Brunswick.
Big corner here. Again, front part of the box taken by Freeze out of the air. That's why he's one of the premier talents at the goalkeeper position around this area. He can go up and get balls like that. It's a fearless position as a keeper. You gotta not afraid to sacrifice your body. And Freeze did just that. As Brunswick tries to send that one to the box.
The point of that with Freeze is you have the goalie interference on your side, so that has to help your confidence in going for those iffy balls, Ben.
Williamson here works in the left corner, trying to get across. Again, trying to find the foot of DeMitch. Head inside by Poole. Taken back outside. As Foley sends that along the right side. Working now is Iben. Iben got one man to beat here. Goes to his left, fires on his left foot, stays on the ground. Good stop by Freeze. He's probably expecting that ball to be a little more into the air as it stayed on the ground.
Freeze with 6 saves so far, 6 crucial saves.
DeMitch to Poole, left side. Gets poked out by Matt Norris, number 20, for Washington. You see some of these soccer players wearing gloves today. It is a pretty windy day. No surprise there. Surprised we're not wearing gloves up here in the booth. It's pretty cold. There's some contact there between 2 of the defenders for Washington. That ball goes out of bounds. Brunswick throwing. Williamson will take it. Sees an open man. Tried to get that ball to Fowler. Couldn't get it to him. But they get it right back. Williamson working along the near sideline. Finds DeMitch. Goes off of number 23, Zach Muir. Still maintained by Brunswick. Goes off the back of a defender. Still maintained by the Railroaders. Here in the left corner, Justin Poole trying to get a cross off. It's going to go into the hands, bounces out of the hands. Still fighting in front of the goal. DeMitch has it, and DeMitch scores!
DeMitch right there, sticking with it. That's the one thing you have to do as a perennial striker right there. You have to stay on your feet, make sure that if that ball is still around the net, you got to go after that. You got to give all your effort in the world to go get that ball when that's around the net. Freeze right there made a nice stop. The ball squirted out a little bit. One of the defenders, we could not tell who that was in the way of Freeze, so he could not go back and get the ball. And DeMitch right there stuck with it, got the netter.
With 7:33 left to play here in the first, Drew DeMitch gets on the board. 1-0 Brunswick. Washington trying to go on a little counterattack. They'll send that one outside the box, taken away by Brunswick. And as you mentioned, just Freeze unable to corral that ball. It hit him in the hands. It bounced, as you mentioned. His defender was in front of him. Just not an ideal situation for the keeper, but that ball's got to be dove on. As again going on the attack is Brunswick. They'll work, send that one from just outside the box is Foley, number 5.
Washington.
I tell you, Washington right now, they have to close the barn doors. You cannot let the floodgates open right now for Brunswick. You have to keep this game close, because if it gets too out of hand, it's going to be a very hard time for Simpkins and company to try to get back in this game.
Again, you figured it was about time for Brunswick to score with the way their offense has been.
They finally scored on their 15th shot, Ben.
As Cavins tries to work that ball off. Brunswick maintains it, sends that, trying to find that left corner of the box. We'll see where that goes out. That might end up being a throw, and it is. As that ball just snuck its way to be a throw-in here. As
throw-ins in these corners, Ben, throw-ins in here can be difficult because of the possession that your goalie would have on a goal kick.
Daniels tries to send that down the field as Dimich got a foot on it. He tried to center it. It was taken right back by Washington. Now Brunswick sends that down the field. Zach Muir, number 23, working here. Muir and Daniels, the big defenders for this team. As Muir, actually a midi.
He's more of a natural mid. He plays a lot of defense with his size and can definitely make the assist, having a good 25 on the season.
Ivan sends it to the right side, working there, trying to give Dimich. He sends it back out. Low shot goes just right. Good look for Brunswick, and I believe that was Ivan, number 12. I'll confirm that in a moment, and it is. It's nice when we get things right every now and then. 4:55 remaining in the first half. 1-0 Brunswick leads.
Ivan with 16 goals and 21 assists, so he leads the Brunswick Railroaders with 21 assists on the season. Next one is Hostler with 12, and then Foley with 11.
As Washington tries to go on the counter-attack, getting tripped up by Joe Foley. Was Washington, so they're going to take a kick here. Trying to tie this game up with 4:20 remaining in the first half. Coming all the way up to take the kick will be Noah Daniels, the senior defenseman. I'm sure he's got a big foot on him. Daniels sends that one just outside the box and sniffing it out immediately. Just didn't have enough on that partner. Was a little short. They tried to send Dimich, made a good run. The ball did not find its way through. As Fowherd sends it over to Ibit. He dishes it off. Right side, they'll again try to find number 2 there. Justin Poole just gets hit out as Poole made a great run. Right in front of the keeper, Freeze.
Foley with even a better cross right there. Across the box, right to Poole. That was freshman to freshman there, Ben.
Very talented freshman, Justin Poole. It's always great to see freshmen compete in games like this because you know, getting that experience early on, you can say, hey, you know, I've played in a state title game. Is now working as Washington sets up a nice ball left side. They'll work back to try and find Simpkins. He keeps it inbounds, working in the left corner. Got one man to beat, gets it past him. Left side of the box, gets hit hard and gets the ball taken away. Great challenge there by Brunswick as they keep Simpkins. And again, that's their goal this game, is keep Simpkins, the scoring opportunities for him to a minimum as they go on the counterattack here, far right side. Tries to send that one right into the hands of Freeze as he makes the easy save and sends it up the field. 2:25 remaining in the first half. 1-0 Brunswick. This game's starting to pick up a little bit in intensity as we're picking up the broadcast here as well. Washington. Zach Muir sends it towards the middle of the field. Matt Norris sends it to the left side. Simpkins, a little bump, has the ball. He gets knocked a little bit. Great takeaway by Brunswick. They've been working hard on him all game long. And Simpkins unhappy with some of the contact here, but you give credit where it's due, especially to number 20 there for Brunswick. Anthony Lukens has done a terrific job working against Simpkins.
Lukens has been all over Simpkins this whole entire afternoon, and I have to kind of agree with Simpkins right there. There's a little bit of a knee to the thigh right there, Simpkins, and I think there was a little too much contact not to call. The ref has been calling a great game so far, but I think that one was just a little bit more of a play-on situation. It should have been, but you know what, the ref's letting them play, and you know what, state title game, you got to let everybody play and go all out.
About 125 remaining in this first half.
Plus a little bit of change.
Plus a little bit of change, as you mentioned. Stoppage time. Brunswick works along the far sideline. Joe Fawley. As they center it back to DeMitch in the middle of the field. He works with his back to the defenders. He dishes it off and works towards the box. See if they can get across in here as Fawley will work. Two defenders right on top of him. Fawley gets the ball away into the hands of Freeze.
You have to look at this too, partner. Simpkins, okay, he's doing these type of like FIFA on Xbox or something moves. With all these joystick moves, he's doing all these crazy moves. So they have a lot of respect for Simpkins right now. There's a good cross by Simpkins through the box, little through ball. Barely missed his own teammate right there. And now Brunswick on the attack once again.
Try to find DeMitch, but the big fella Daniels kicks it out of bounds. Throw in coming here for Brunswick as we're about 15 seconds and some change left to go here in this first half. 1-0 Brunswick. Trying to add another goal here before the end of the half. Throwing it in is Fawley. Sends it, of course, to the near box. Taken right back, still maintained by Brunswick. They send that one right to the goalie. Good look by Poole. And it looks like we're going to end the first half right on time. No stoppage time. After one half of play, Brunswick leads 1-0. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will bring you a little halftime here on MPSSAA Network. The Washington Jaguars and the Brunswick Railroaders. We will be right back.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
One match away from immortality.
This
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. Oh, we're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
And welcome back to the MPSSAA State Soccer Championships. We got the Brunswick Railroaders and the Washington Jaguars me and my partner Ben Simpson have been calling this wonderful game so far here at UMBC Stadium in the great state of Maryland, here in Catonsville, Maryland. And you know what, Ben? So far, we've seen a great game so far here on the campus of UMBC. You know, we have a lot of shots for Brunswick, and Washington so far only has 2 shots, 1 on net, but they really haven't been playing the type of formation that really wants them to generate a lot of offense. They're trying to contain Brunswick. The Railroaders have been all over the offensive field so far, and if you want to translate it to the basketball terms, they've been all over the glass with the rebounds and everything. And in football terms, you know, they've had the ball and the possession all the time. And so far, it's really not really going the Jaguars' way right now. And the Railroaders just keep having possession. As I'm looking at my stat line right here, they have possession 78% of this game so far. So what are you thinking about this so far?
Well, for me, I'm thinking that Brunswick is getting their opportunities here early on. And they're definitely taking advantage of some of the looks that they're getting. They're getting some more space than I think Washington would have liked to give them. A lot of this field has been really open for Brunswick. They're working both sides. Drew DeMitch has been in and out, playing a little bit of defense, a little offense. He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
So credit to what DeMitch has been able to do. And for Washington, again, they just need to get a little flow going, a little mojo going, because they're just struggling a little bit offensively. And one of the big keys is the fact that Anthony Lukens especially has been minimizing any possible attack by Kyle Simpkins. And that's been big because, of course, he's one of their leading goal scorers. They've got some other guys that they need to get involved in the offense. So keeping Simpkins minimized has been huge for Washington. So, you know, they just need to try to find their players. And if he's not open, let's get the ball to somebody else, because it's just not working with trying to get that ball to him. So for both these teams, but again, it was just one little misplay by Freeze, and this game would still be 0-0. I mean, so
exactly.
This could be still a pretty close game.
You know, it Freeze on that play that DeMitch scored. You can't really blame it on him because he actually played it the right way, as a goalie should. Got on his knees, tried to corral it, make sure he has a little bumper with his knees, but the ball just kind of squirted out a little bit. I'm not blaming it on any defender either, because the defense has been holding the Brunswick Railroaders to, I mean, yeah, they have a lot of shots, but they only have 9 shots on target so far, and they've only capitalized on 1, which ended up being a little miscue by the Washington defense. But you know what, so far, it's looking like, you know, Washington needs to get more on the offensive side. I think that their formation, which they have in place right now, Ben, which is a 5 defensive set. When you have a 5 defensive set in the formation, as of Washington as right now, that more emphasizes defense, which I understand with Brunswick's attacking core, you have to have a more defensive set. Yet when Simpkins is up there by himself, the whole entire midfield is getting tired by playing defense and trying to contain and everything like that, especially Zach Muir. You know, he has 25 assists, my mistake, on the season for a reason. He knows how to get up the field. He knows where Simpkins is going to be. They're the dynamic duo of this Washington Jaguars team. So looking at that, what kind of formation are you trying to see that Washington needs to change into? Do you think they need to change into a 4 defensive set? Maybe drop 2 more midfielders to go up and try to help Simpkins out? Or what are you thinking? Because if you can have a 3 or a 4, I believe actually you need a 4 defensive set rather than a 3, because a 4 can help trying to contain DeMitch and everybody like these guys. But you know, what are you thinking? 4 or 3, or what kind of formation are you thinking?
Well, I think I agree with you in the fact that they need to get Simpkins some help on the offense. I think because, as you mentioned, I mean, you made a great point there in the fact that, you know, when Simpkins is getting the ball, there's not a whole lot of other offensive players nearby him, so the defense can just key on him, and that's what they've been able to do. So it's not just what Lucas has been able to do, but it's the fact that, you know, he needs some help on the offensive side. So I'd agree with you. They need to drop a couple of those middies up, you know, play a little, get them on offense, because Simpkins is struggling right now to find. Plus, that takes the pressure off him a little bit. So I'll agree with you completely there. Before we continue with our halftime here, I'll give you a little update of what's going to be going on here today. The other games, of course, the girls 1A Manchester Valley Mavericks will be taking on another Brunswick team, this time the Brunswick Railroaders girls team. And you know who's one of their Frederick County's leading scorers, Dara DeMitch. So, you know, we've...
family of scorers.
And then we'll have the boys 2A game, the Queen Anne's Lions against Marriott's Ridge Mustangs. And then finishing up the girls 2A championship game between the Fallston Lady Cougars and the Middletown Knights. Middletown has won the past 2 state titles, trying to be the first Frederick County soccer team to win 3 straight state titles, and that's boys and girls. So that's going to be a huge game between those two tonight. So we'll be here all day. Of course, Mike, my partner, you'll be doing these the boys 1A and the girls 1A game with me, and then we got Brittany Callahan coming in to do the boys 2A and the girls 2A games. So
State soccer champion all in herself.
Yes. So
At my alma mater, Punk Falls in Virginia, buddy.
yeah, so I'm sure she's looking forward to doing a game with her later on today. As it again, a beautiful day here in Cationsville, Maryland, as we are just about ready to start the second half of play. About a minute remaining here before we get started.
And Ben, let me read these stat lines real quick so everyone gets caught up. If you have your stat sheets at home or wherever you may be, hopefully you're not listening to us on the road and looking at your laptop and everything, and hopefully not getting any wrecks on the interstate or anything with all this Thanksgiving traffic. But here's the stat line so far for Washington. Only 1 foul, which ended up being a PK where DeMitch missed it. Well, technically he shot it, but it was saved by Freeze. Once again, Freeze saving the day. 2 corners by Washington, 2 shots, and 1 on goal with 22% possession. No cards for either team so far. 3 fouls for Brunswick, 5 corners, which 4 have of which been saved by Freeze. And wow, Ben, look at this stat line. 19 total shots with 9 on target. Can you believe that one?
That's pretty unbelievable to me.
19 shots is usually what most teams have in a whole entire game, but nonetheless in one half, I mean, that's what Brunswick's attacking core has been doing. But you can't really blame Washington's defense for letting up that many shots, because so far they've contained. And out of 19 shots, I think most of the time you have at least 3 or 4 goals scored in. But so far, Washington's defense, I have to give all the credit in the world to them right now for holding their own.
Little short break between the halves. It was about a 10-minute break, so we're about ready to start the second half of play here. This time, moving from right to left on your screen will be Washington.
I have to tell you, Ben, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to tell you, man, UMBC has a great campus. This is the first time I've ever been up here. I've been to College Park a bunch of times. I love UMBC lacrosse, but their whole entire complex here, we came in here and looked at the whole entire complex early this morning, and wow, we were both impressed. I'll say that for you as well.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a fantastic complex here, as we will rise to our feet and get ready here for the second half of play. Again, Brunswick leads Washington 1-0 after one half, as Brunswick will now work from left to right on your screen. Washington from right to left. Brunswick in the white uniforms, Washington in the maroon and gold.
You just have to feel the emotion that some of these players have playing on a big stage in a university.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, this is a thrill for these guys to being able to play on such a big stage, as that one is a weak shot sent on the ground by Nathaniel Iben as he tries to get something on that towards the keeper, Freeze. This player gets taken down by his jersey. Simpkins got a handful of the jersey for Brunswick, Anthony Lukens. And, of course, the fans here for Brunswick.
I was going to say, much of the crowd's dismay right there.
Joe Foley now sends it into the right corner to Hossler. As he'll work, trying to center that one up, getting a foot on it, and that's a goal for Brunswick.
Right there, another deflection. Freeze punched it out right there after the shot was on net, as he should have. But Brunswick right there was right in the way. Ended up getting a nice finish.
Fairhurd gets the goal there. The assist from Hossler. As we're about a minute and 30 seconds into the second half of play, and Brunswick now leads 2-0.
Brunswick 2, Washington 1.
It looks like Coach Brady did put in a new defensive formation with 4 backs in there, Mr. Simpson. I don't know if that's what really cost them right there, but overall they're trying to change up their formation, Coach Brady.
DeMitch sends it to the top of the box, gets deflected away as Brunswick's had plenty to cheer about so far as they'll again try to send one. A high kick gets partially deflected here. Right side of the box is Hostler. Flicks it to himself, sends it back out to Foley. Gets a nice kick off the top of the crossbar and hit the turf, and we'll see. I'm pretty sure that, clearly that didn't go in. It was dangerously close, though. It was what a great look from Joe Foley.
Wow. That was a shot.
That was about as close as you're going to get without the ball actually going in.
Kicked it off his right foot, curved it over top. A freeze right there.
Brunswick still maintains the ball. Foley sends it towards the left side of the box. A little body contact there. Nice move, fires it right into the hands of Freeze. That time coming up all the way was Lukens, I believe, taking that shot.
I believe Lukens just wants to get in the offensive action.
And up to nothing there, not afraid to send these guys up. As
got a little bit of a cushion here with 2 goals. Don't want to get too greedy, though. Get a little too greedy. Washington does have Simpkins and Muir to counterattack.
Bad kick there by Robert Horner as it goes to Brunswick here along the near sideline. Maintaining control is Foley. He sends it right side now to Poole. Poole working against the defender, trying to find some room. Again, carries the ball right side before it gets kicked out of bounds. 36-15 remaining here in the second half of play. Brunswick with a 2-goal lead in the MPSSAA 1A state championship game. Glad to bring you this one. Ben Simpson and Mike Cerrone on this Saturday afternoon at 12 p.m. start time. Next game scheduled for 2:30. We'll see if they move that up at all, because this one's really gone by pretty fast. They'll probably keep it towards their regular times, which means we'll have a little break.
Got to keep it on schedule. Change up the schedule, Ben. Things and people go haywire.
They send that one just inside the box. They still work for it here along the outside. Finally fighting away is Washington. Simpkins has some room to move. He's got the speed to it. Got 2 defenders right on his back. He kicks it right to the goalie. Simpkins unhappy as he shakes the net a little bit, as he had quite a look, and that's the guy you want in that situation. And couldn't convert, and credit the defense for getting back and applying that pressure.
I tell you, Simpkins, I tell you, this guy has afterburners. This guy is like a rocket on the field. I am very surprised the Brunswick defense actually caught up to him, because he had the ball nicely kicked in front of him. Nice little through ball. Had it right in his grasp right there. But the Brunswick defense caught up and got him to shoot it a little bit of a slow shot, which ended up getting a nice save.
Beautiful play right there as the keeper, Ty Foltz, able to jump on that one. As now Brunswick controls, and again, you were waiting for Simpkins, as now Brunswick trying to work here just in front of the box. Take it away as they're going to try to time a run. It's taken down from behind, and this could be, I wonder if it might be a card situation. No, not deemed enough for that, so it's just going to be a free kick here for Washington.
Just looks like a foul. I thought it might draw a card as well. That was pretty rough.
And that's what the fans are too, but the official's doing a great job here today as Kyle Simpkins will work here, trying to get to the middle of the field. Ball gets deflected, and again, I will say, Brunswick has done tremendous on Kyle Simpkins today.
Yes, sir. I can tell 2 changes that both coaches have done. Brunswick more of a attacking defender set, as Lukens right now with the ball. And then Washington with a 4-defender set rather than a 5. So 2 changes by both coaches.
To Mitch, a little shake and bake. Fires it left side of the goal. Wow!
To Mitch right there, showing his length. Shooting that from outside the box. To Mitch right there, unassisted. About 5-6 yards outside of the 18-yard box. Beats Freeze. 3-0 Brunswick over Washington with 33:20 left in this ball game. I tell you, Ben, Mitch showing us why he is the perennial scorer on the Brunswick Railroaders Ball Club.
Washington nothing.
And you knew he was going to need to be a big factor in this game if Brunswick wanted to pull off the victory. And that's exactly what he's able to do. Is he's got 2 goals today as Washington's uphill battle grows from a hill to a mountain as they'll work along the right side, trying to send that one just inside the box. As you can see kind of some of the body language out of some of these Washington players. Again, they're trying to stay as positive as they can, but it's hard, partner, especially when you see that 3-0 score on the scoreboard to maintain your focus. I mean, this is the type of game where, you know, Simpkins could suddenly break free for 2 goals. We could have a 1-goal game at any point in this one. So it's got to be important for Washington to maintain the focus.
I mean, 32 minutes left in this ball game as we've seen another attack from Brunswick. 32 minutes in this ball game. Man, that's a whole entire TV show. If you think about sitting down for a TV show, that's a long time. So you can definitely score at least 2-3 goals in that matter of time.
Lukens tries to send it to the Mitch, and I think the foul going to be against number 5, Joe Fawley, as he tried to go up for that header as the player for Washington is down. I have not seen a number yet. As this is going to go to add some extra time to the end of this half. Is taking the brunt of that hit. Again, still waiting to get a number on that.
Trainer's going out to help the young man. Getting out there as fast as possible. Clock has stopped at 32 minutes, 5 seconds.
And I believe that's number 8, Robert Horner for Washington.
Only a freshman. It's great experience in here as both teams are kind of senior heavy, but at the same time, Ben, they have enough freshmen to keep the traditions going.
For Washington.
So Horner will walk out of the field of play. Hopefully he's all right. Seems just be a little shaken up. I think I would expect to see him possibly back into this game.
You said a little shaken up. Probably got the wind knocked out of him. Looks like he's walking fine right now. He'll get back in the game here shortly.
Howard makes a nice move, sends it to the Mitch right outside the box. Little shake and bake again. He tries to find that left corner, and he does it again.
Holy moly! I tell you, that ball, that was a slow roller. I think Freeze thought that was going to get deflected. Ended up just rolling right past him in the left corner. I tell you, that ball could not be any better placed right there by DeMitch. DeMitch with his hat trick. Throw your hats in the field, everybody. That's a hat trick for DeMitch.
But don't actually, because I don't think you're allowed to do that.
Yep, yeah, he might get thrown out. So don't do that. I don't give the best advice sometimes, Ben, so. Freeze is just not happy with himself because that's 2 goals in the past 5 minutes by DeMitch that he could definitely have saved, and I know he knows that as well because he had 9 saves prior to those 2 goals.
Brings our score to 4-0 Brunswick. As you mentioned, the floodgates have been opened.
4 goals with 31 minutes is not undoable, but right now with the Brunswick attack and the lack of possession right now for Washington, it's as you said, Ben, it's a mountain to climb right now.
31, as you mentioned, 31 minutes left to go. 4-0 Brunswick Railroaders, and what a feat it would be if Brunswick can win it for the boys and the girls. As the girls will be playing right after this one. It's always fun to see. We see that in Virginia as well, doing those games, and the fact that when you see a boys and a girls team be so talented that they're able to win it, I mean, for both levels.
Definitely. It's always a great tradition when you have one soccer team most of the time. When you have one soccer team as good as they are, whether that be boys or girls, the opposing gender really has a great soccer team as well. Depending on how far they get in their respective tournaments and their respective divisions,
The state soccer committees would like to
they
thank
still have
all
great
the
traditions in either
high
school.
athletics.
I'm sure they have some fun scrimmages every now and then too. I would assume.
Brunswick through.
The Railroaders just chugging down the railroad track right now, Ben.
And you're watching the MPSSAA Network's presentation of the boys 1A state title game as Brunswick to Mitch has the look again and again. I believe that found the goal, and it did. Mitch gets on the board again. Talk about being in the zone. As Demich finds Pater once again.
Wow.
And these are all in the span of the past, 5 minutes.
I tell you, I'd love to see him and Simpkins go one-on-one.
Scored by number 8, Drew Damage.
Because both these guys,
59-43 mark with the second half.
I tell you, have you? Ben, you play FIFA?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I don't think you're really that good at it, but look on your face means you're not that good at it. But you know what? I do. And this guy is like Cristiano Ronaldo out there. Him and Simpkins both are playing the joysticks and doing all this stuff for gaming purposes. And I tell you, these guys know how to play soccer. They perfect the forward position.
4 goals for Mitch. 5-0 Brunswick. As that mountain for Washington to climb has turned into Mount Everest. Down 5-0 with 29 minutes remaining in this game. And the Washington faithful definitely, I think, getting a little nervous at this point. But you never know. You just need that one goal. You need to break the ice. As they'll try to give it along the left side to Overholt. He fires it to the right side of the net. It goes just out. Ty Foltz was all over that one.
Overholt with 18 goals in the season right there. He got a little fire underneath that shot. Just went a little bit too much past the right upright. I tell you, Ben, so far, the Washington Jaguars have 4 shots, only 2 on target, but the 2 that they missed could have easily gone in. So right now, they're making most of their chances so far. They're getting not that many chances as of late, but you know what? So far, they're making somewhat do on their chances, making good opportunities.
Brunswick tries to send that one. Again, Demich would love to have another goal on his resume for the game. He got 4, why not 5? As Washington's trying to make sure that doesn't happen. As they'll work all the way up the field, and coming up is Zach Muir. He'll keep working. Gets by a few defenders. Still working. He'll take that all the way. Tries to find Simpkins, but the timing not there on the run. The through ball there to Simpkins. And it's not their partner.
Yeah, Simpkins right there was standing a little bit too flat-footed. Great through ball right there by Muir, but Simpkins saw Muir fake his defender out 3 or 4 times right there and thought he was going to take the left-footed shot from a little bit outside the box and ended up, like you said, a little bit miscommunication.
Still got plenty of time. Still just 27 minutes remaining in this game. It could be time for either Brunswick to add to their lead or Washington to try to cut into it. That ball is sent along the near sideline. It will stay in bounds as Brunswick has it. They send that one up the field as they work just outside the box. Demich is to the right. They're going to try to time a little run. Instead, keeping the ball as Brunswick, as Demich tried to launch that one. It was Iben keeping the ball in play.
Another foul by Brunswick. Brunswick, you got to give them credit, Ben. With their attacking core so far, obviously tallying up 5 goals, they have 6 fouls. That's because they're trying to be physical, trying to get the transition back in their zone.
They send that one upfield. Goes off one of the men and goes high into the air. Again, our next game on the network scheduled for 2:30 p.m. We'll probably be going on around 1:25, 1:20 or so you can go out, go grab a bite to eat, and come back.
By T, it sounds pretty good right now.
220, excuse me, not 120. Yeah. So in a little over an hour. Actually, this game, by the time this game finishes, it should probably end around 1:30, so we'll probably have an hour break in between these games. The next scheduled game after the 2:30 game is scheduled for 5 p.m. And then we have a 7:30 game to finish the night off. A wonderful day of soccer. The weather has been just beautiful. Is taking a shot on net there, number 23. That's Zach Muir, the big senior. As he launches that one into the hands of Foltz. Handles it easily. He'll punt it away. Can't get over how beautiful this complex is here at UMBC.
I agree.
Catonsville, Maryland. From our drive in Dulles, Sterling area in Virginia, just about a little over an hour. Nice and easy drive on a Saturday morning.
Not too bad.
I'm sure easy to access for all you Maryland people who live in Maryland watching this. So if you do live close to this area, definitely come to UMBC and see some sporting events, because this is a beautiful field. As that ball is trying to cross towards the middle, still maintained by Washington as they send that one out of bounds. Got a good view of the trees. You got a good view of the campus. A lot of fields in this area. You got the baseball, you got the softball fields. And again, it will probably such a thrill for these high school players to come here and compete. Of course, there were games going on the past few days, as Brunswick will work the ball into the corner, feeling some pressure from behind. As Brunswick sends a player down. And there has been a little bit of chippiness here and there in this game. There's been a couple battles. That just means you have a nice physical game. It's nothing against either of these teams. But the fans, of course, always voice their displeasure. That's their job.
Yeah, well, this being the state tournament, both fan bases have come out to support both supporting squads right here, so it's always great to see a fan base travel well.
23-23 left in this game, as Brunswick will work here right side of the field to Hostler. Sends it to the Mitch. He'll send it back out to Foley as they work a little set piece here. Back to the Mitch. Colin Shields into the game, the sophomore, number 6 for Brunswick. As they work some of their other players with a lead like this, why not? DeMitch sends that one, middle of the field. Nobody can get ahead on it. Still stays in bounds, had that spin on the ball before it finally ends up out of bounds. And not bad for DeMitch. Why not try to get an assist in this game, too?
Keep adding your points there, young man.
I mean, he's a senior, so this will be his final game in high school. I'm sure he's playing at the next level. So
it's always good to go out on a high note, though, Ben.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, these memories in the state tournament last with you forever. I mean, I'm not that great at sports to actually attest to that, because my team's never made the state tournament, or even the region tournament for that matter. But overall, as I've heard from most people, including a good friend of mine, Andy Hayes, from being in the state tournament, these memories last forever. I mean, they're imprinted in your brain, whether it be good, whether it be bad.
Plenty of applause coming for the players coming in and out of this game, as a lot of the seniors will definitely hear plenty of applause from their fan bases, appreciating the work that they've put in for the years that they've been at their respective schools. And I'll tell you what, even though this is a 5-0 game, I expect to see some pretty good ones from here on out today. Some close ones, as they'll try to launch that one towards the goal to Freeze. That one goes off, and they're going to say it went off of Freeze, so it's going to be a corner kick coming for Washington.
We've heard from the UMBC staff here that So far, these tournaments have produced so many great games, some shootouts, some blowouts, 6 or 7 nothing wins. And so far, these tournaments here at UMBC Stadium have been fantastic. And this game, even though it's a blowout, we've seen a lot of good play from both teams.
I beg your pardon, it's a corner kick for Brunswick. I mistakenly said Washington. Thought we stopped making those mistakes as they send that one to the middle as Freeze snatches it out of the air and he'll punt it away. Great staff here for these games. Again, this is the MPSSAA network. Very glad to be able to host these games for you on the site. Soccer fans, I'm sure, were real happy to see this. They can pretty much just relax, sit back all Saturday. You got college football on, you got Maryland State soccer games on. Tomorrow you got the NFL. Ravens fans here in Maryland.
Technically, the Redskins are based in Maryland, but you know what? we just won't talk about them right now. We're talking about soccer here, Ben.
1940.
Don't get me started on football.
In the second half of play, as they'll work just outside the box here, left side, fires it, trying to find the right corner, goes out of bounds. Good look for Brunswick. But again, now they're just trying to use some clock, work the ball around. Still under 20 minutes to go, halfway through the second half.
Brunswick right there with their 27th shot of the game. Amazing.
Mitch tries to work with number 16, Costas Beauclair, the senior. Again, plenty of fresh faces here in the second half. Beauclair drops it off here, right side. Sends that one in the air, trying to get a head on it. They do. Getting his head on that one, Nathan Iben, but he sends it over the goal.
I've been trying to tally another one for the Brunswick Railroaders.
Again, why not? But Washington, for Washington here, they need to try to get on the board here. You don't like being shut out, especially in a state final game.
For Washington right now, game's not over. Keep playing. I mean, when they take out some of their best players, that's a time to strike.
As again, on the attack to Mitch as he launches that ball right into the knee of the defender, takes a deflection near sideline. Great slide there by Brunswick. As again, Mitch will try to work for that ball as it goes out of bounds.
Brunswick throw in.
And Brunswick 17-1-1 on the year.
17:46 left. 5-0 Brunswick over Washington right now. Drew to Mitch tallying 4 goals. Fuhrherd with the other.
They'll try to work the left side of the box now, see if they can get a cross in. They do try to center it up. Taken away by Washington, back to Brunswick. And again, you know, for Brunswick, they've clearly led in shots, they've led in time of possession, they've led in goals, obviously, with a 5-0 lead. So they pretty much playing perfect soccer today. And that's what more could you ask for a state final game? For Washington, they've had their opportunities, haven't really been able to convert, and a frustrating day for Kyle Simpkins, the stud on this Washington team. Trying to add another goal to his resume as a senior. They'll try to work the center of the field as Muir got pickpocketed there. Brunswick now tries to send that to the corner. Working on the ball is Iben. 2 defenders right on top of him. He'll send it back to Foley. Back to Iben now. Working to the right corner. Stutter step. Fires it across the middle. Picked out of the turf by Freeze. And he'll launch that towards midfield. Takes a big hop before it goes off the head of Colin Shields.
I have to tell you, Muir's been all over the field today, Ben. He's hustling his heart out. He knows this is his last ball game in a Jaguar uniform. Him and Simpkins have been playing together for the past 4 years for the Washington High School Jaguars. You know what? He's trying to make the best of this game, and 15 minutes left, still giving it his all.
At the conclusion of this one, as we're still, as you mentioned, 15 and a half left to go as they send this one to the right corner. It goes out. Be sure to stay tuned for our post-game show. We'll give a quick recap of the goals in this one, talk a little bit about our player of the game, and
a little analysis how the state championship went down.
And again, this one is not over by any means as Brunswick goes off a defender and then ends into the goal. Another goal for Brunswick. And we'll hear who ended up getting that one in.
Mr. Simpson, did you see who shot that first shot? That was DeMitch right there, shooting a power shot. Ended up going off the defender's face in the goal, which must have hurt first off. And what hurt even more is that the deflection went right to Brunswick. Ended up powering the shot.
Is JT Bergman, number 17, on the goal. Bergman is a junior.
Into the game for Washington, the number 6.
About 15 minutes in the second period, so that brings our score now to 6-0 Brunswick.
DeMitch now with 6 points, or 5 points, excuse me, with that assist right there.
Washington again tries to work it in the box, but nothing can come of it as Brunswick's defenders have been on their game this afternoon to complement the offense well. 6-0 Brunswick. Good to see Bergman, the junior, get a goal in there. We saw Foward also get a goal, the freshman. And then, of course, the talented DeMitch with 4 goals today and an assist.
That could be the dagger right there for Washington's hopes. They're trying to come back in this ball game. I tell you, whichever defender was guarding that goal, all the power to you, son. I mean, your face must hurt right now, but at least you saved 1 goal.
Again, they'll
Good
work
positioning
into the right corner, right side of the box now, trying to send it somewhere in the middle. Goes off the foot of a defender. Sent back in by Brunswick, now taken away by Washington as they'll try to find Simpkins up the field to go on a run. A little missed timing as Simpkins is unable to get to it. They've always left 2 defenders back to get on Simpkins. So he's been unable to make any of those big runs. Definitely, you can't say Washington hasn't tried to get on that football. Excuse me, that's soccer ball. I guess it's America. We call it soccer here.
You have to wonder, Ben, that the ball that deflated the balloon, was it that run that Simpkins had that he could not capitalize on?
It definitely was big. I mean, you'd have to say that was...
Because at that point in the game, it was reachable.
I believe it was either I think it was like a 2 or 3 goal game at that point.
I believe it was a 3 goal game.
I think it was a 3 goal game. As DeMitch again will work, he'll try to send it to the right corner. Good look for him. See, he gives a little smile there. He knew he had a chance to add on. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll completely agree with you there. As Simpkins' opportunity there that he couldn't convert. At that point, which would have made it a 2-goal game, would have got Washington on the board for the first time. Maybe it would have made things a little more interesting.
You also got to think it's not really deflating because he's the best player. It's deflating because that would have got him right back in the ball game.
They send it to Matt Norris in the left corner as that ends up going out of bounds. Norris can't chase it down. And yep, we could have ourselves a very different ball game at this point. But then again, even if Simpkins scores there, Dimension might still been able to get a couple of these goals, and it could be 6-1.
See, when you talked about it, Lukens, when he's been up on the attacking zone, as Coach Putnam tried to make more of a defensive attacking, the center backs try to join the attacking core because they knew they were on the doorstep in the first half. They knew it. So that's why he changed up the formation, tried to get the center backs to come up and try to help the attacking core to try to put that ball in the back of the net because they were on the doorstep the whole entire time. If Simpkins would have had that goal, they would have brought Lukens back, which would have had a lot less attacking zone and attacking possession. But you know what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Didn't work out.
Washington works just outside the box. That one gets deflected away, and again, we will still give Washington plenty of credit for the season that they've pulled off. The Jaguars 12-4 on the year, have done a terrific job getting here. They lost in the state semis last year. They made it to the state finals here as Brunswick trying to work for another shot goes the back of a defender. So Washington making a nice run here in the playoffs. Regional champs for third year in a row.
A last-ditch effort for Washington here. Freeze has been subbed out of the game for a defender, so the defender can try to join the attacking core. So Freeze subbed out of this game, not because of his play, because so far 31 shots for Brunswick. Hard to contain that.
Brunswick tries to send that to the middle as it's just volleying outside as the keeper finally scoops that one up. And head coach Matt Brady for Washington, his 8th year as head coach of this school. 48-47-1, so he's had his ups, he's had his downs. And Simpkins, left side, coming out to scoop that ball was Ty Foltz. Well, I'll tell you what, Ty Foltz's job has been made pretty easy today because of his defense, because he hasn't had to stop a whole lot of shots.
Only 5 shots, 4 on target for Washington. Yet those saves, Ben, you can't underestimate those saves, because those saves actually kept 1 or 2 goals from going in. It made this game a lot closer, and the game plan's a lot different.
So as you mentioned, with for Brunswick, or from Washington, excuse me, Freeze out of the game at keeper. Don't necessarily know who's in there right now. We don't have the number. As again, Simpkins will work for a goal. The senior gets on the board.
Simpkins right there with a pride effort. 8:53 left in this ball game, in the state title game. He's a senior. We all know he's going to some great university to play. And right there, the shutout has been taken away from the Brunswick Railroaders, and the Jaguars are on the board.
Good for them, preventing the shutout. 6-1, our score, 8:33 remaining in this second half of play.
Ben, you have to give all the credit in the world. Brunswick right now on top, 6-1, but Washington never lost a fight.
And you can tell Washington fans, they finally had something really to cheer about this game as Simpkins scores. And of course, they've been delighted to watch him play all year long. So good to see Simpkins score here in a state title game. Makes our score 6-1. As Brunswick now on the counterattack. They have some room to move, fire it right at the keeper. Struggles with it for a second. It goes outside the box, still maintained by Brunswick. They'll try to send it over to the left side. Goes off the foot of a defender, still maintained by Brunswick. Working along the left side, little move. Trying to, a little shake and bake to get free. Washington has it right back. Now let's see if they can try to get on the board here again. Make it a 6-2 game. Things, might get a little interesting. As they'll try to time the run, and that ball needed to be sent a little harder than that because it was immediately sniffed out and taken by Brunswick.
Uncharacteristic right there by Muir. He has set up 25 times this season. Simpkins, every single one of them pinpoint, but you have to wonder, Is this cold affecting the muscles right now of Muir? Because right there, a little bit more of a weak pass than he usually has.
Mitch sends it towards the middle of the field to Iben. He drops that one off. Wide open goal for Costas Balclair, number 16. I'm sure I'm botching that name, so we'll hear it over the PA and make sure that I have that right, because I want to give the young man credit.
Scored number 16, Costas Balclair.
Nathan Iben right there with the assist. Beauclair,
the 7:05 mark of the
you know what?
second half.
He gets one goal on the board. Always feels good to get
even the assist,
a goal in the prime time.
7:05 mark, second half, 7-1.
Beauclair right there. He's a senior. He wants to finish strong, and right there with one goal, I would say that's a pretty successful day.
Yeah, that you can go away from that and be able to say, hey, listen, I scored a goal in a state title game. You don't have to tell them the score was 7-1, but they work. Washington now along the right side. A little bit of tackle there. Ball still being fought for. Muir tries to get a foot on it as Brunswick sends it out. That's the story of the day, partner, is every time Washington has had opportunities like that, Brunswick able to pounce on it and send it away as the Railroaders work again on the attack. Just taking down the defender there was Danny Marsh. Is number 22, Ryan Bosman.
And I believe there was a foul called right there. It looked like Bosman was trying to foul the Brunswick player on purpose to stop play because they were on attack. Yet at the same time, it looks like he might have got his cleat or his shorts or something caught on the Brunswick offender. Kind of twisted his knee a little bit or something. Because right now, he's limping off and looked like they got a little bit tangled up right there. I couldn't tell what happened. Didn't look like he was, his feet got tangled up or anything. But right there, it looks like he's going to limp off.
Kyle Simpkins was his 100th career high school goal.
And a round of applause for Simpkins as he scored his 100th high school career goal. Gets congratulations from all the fans in attendance. I'm glad they made that announcement to let us know.
Looks like Lukens and Poliniak right there. The two defenders for Brunswick going over and congratulating Simpkins.
And that's so great for him because, you know, he had 99. This game was looking like it's going to end as a shutout.
I'd agree. It'd be a little irritating if you didn't get that 100 goal.
Yeah, you have to answer those questions for the rest of your life. How come you didn't get number 100?
As you can hear, the Brunswick fans.
Brunswick's starting the celebration with under 6 minutes to go here in the game. Up 7-1. They'll try to add some more as they send that one to Mitch as he'd like to have another one. Great move to his left foot. Good save. Snagging that one out of the air.
Yeah. I mean, both goalies so far for Washington have, as we see, Simpkins right here.
Has another opportunity. Fires it left side. Do it again. Kyle Simpkins.
Kyle Simpkins.
101.
101 broke the 100 goal mark with his previous goal and the 101 goal of his career scored in the state championship game right here on the campus of UMBC. History has been made.
5:28 mark of the second half. Second goal
right here on the network. MPSSAA.
You saw it here first.
Kyle Simpkins scores the second goal of the game.
7-2, a little bit more respectful right there. We're not shut out. Kyle Simpkins, I tell you, Ben, those last two runs that we just saw him have, if he would have got any more open space throughout the game, they might have three or four more goals. I mean, So far, he's capitalized on both of his, or 2 of 3 so far chances on the open.
Simpkins trying to work for another one. Controls it here along the left side. Doesn't have necessarily the space he'd like as he tried to time up a little run. And his timing with Muir just hasn't been there this game.
That's one reason why they don't have as many goals. They've been averaging 3.8 goals a game this year. And so far, with only 2 goals, both by Simpkins on breakaways, doesn't look like you said, partner, Muir has not been in sync with Simpkins today, which really has hurt him.
4:20 and probably a few minutes left to play here in this game. 7-2, Brunswick leads. Is Washington able to get a couple goals from Kyle Simpkins? He'd sure like to have a hat trick.
Lemon Johnson right now, junior midfielder, defender, staying back for Brunswick, making sure no through balls get through, and this thing is getting too iffy.
Trying to cross that one in front of the net, gets taken away. Brunswick will send that back and rework the offense here as they send it now down to the right side. Cross towards the middle, couldn't get a first foot on it. DeMitch now has it, tries to work to his right, gets pushed down. Still maintained by the Railroaders as they'll work that ball all the way into the left corner. A one-on-one
good defense
gameplay there. It was poked out by Washington, but the offensive man still maintains it.
Whoa. Something's going down down there in the crowd. Someone said, "Put on your shirt, Sarah." What's going on?
7-2 here in the second half of play. As DeMitch leaves the game to a rousing applause.
Brunswick, 19, Chris Nelson.
And well-deserved as well. DeMitch finishes his day with 4 goals. Brunswick, why not go for another one? And sending that one is Iben off on that.
And Ben, with only 2:39 left in this ball game, both coaches trying to get their freshmen some experience, because if you get experience in the state title game, you're definitely going to have experience for the rest of your career. The state title game is against the best of the best. And so far, both coaches doing a great job and subbing out their seniors, giving them a round of applause and getting their freshmen some time.
Sorry, I got a bug in my throat there. We got pardon that, folks. Sorry, we up here in the we've had some issues there as we're under 135.
You all right there, partner? There's a lot of flies out here, flying through our window.
Indirect free kick for Washington.
You all right there? Coughing up here a little bit, buddy. You definitely need that break.
Yeah, luckily, this was not at the end of a very close game here. 7-2, Brunswick leads Washington. Again, we apologize for the
Well, I had to give you the Heimlich
pause
there or something.
there, yeah. MPSSAA state title game. Brunswick Railroaders trying to be crowned kings of the 1A boys soccer here in Maryland.
40 seconds left in this state title game. The trophies and the hardware are out as Brunswick's fans give one more cheer for their boys.
And now is the appropriate time to bring out the "I believe that we will win" chant. Some schools, you never really know what these schools are going to use it.
You don't want to be too cocky with it at the beginning of the game, though.
As they can feel it.
10 seconds.
They will be crowned champions here very soon.
3, 2, 1.
And that's your final. The Brunswick Railroaders are the 2012 1A Boys State Champions here in the state of Maryland. The Kings of Maryland here. What a terrific game played by Brunswick. Again, there's your final. Brunswick Railroaders 7, Washington Jaguars 2. Class 1A Boys Soccer Champions, as they will have the trophy presentations on the field as we get into our post-game show here on the MPSSAA Network. And why not crown Brunswick the Kings of Maryland here as the big fella in this one, Drew DeMitch, clearly our player of the game with his goal scoring. 4 goals on the day for him, and what a terrific afternoon for Drew DeMitch. Also adding goals, number 10, Brandon Fowler, JT Bergman, and Costas Leclerc. That's the 7 for Brunswick. The 2 scored by Washington, both coming at the foot of Kyle Simpkins, the senior striker. Scored both in the second half of play. And partner, again, for Brunswick, they really just started this game off on the right foot, both literally and figuratively, with the way that they played. So, again, for them, it was building up that lead a little bit early on, and they just seemed to have the connection all game long. And how about the play of Drew DeMitch?
I have to say that was a great pun, first off, and second of all, Drew DeMitch, 5 points of their 7 goals, 4 of those being goals, 1 being assist. I mean, this kid has a phenomenal repertoire of talents. He can do everything. He had the assist. He had the 4 goals. He just completely took this game over. When the ball hit his foot, the whole entire Washington squad was on watch. Okay, they couldn't contain him in the second half, and overall, it just went Drew DeMitch's way. Simpkins and DeMitch, they both have great goal scoring ability, but this game went in DeMitch's favor.
Yeah, talk about what the kind of the what ifs for this Jaguars team. It just didn't really work out.
You know what I mean? When you look at it, Coach Brady and his ball club, they had a great game. You cannot put it past them. They had a great game. Coach Brady had a great game plan. He said, I'm going to go more defensive, see if I can get the ball out to Simpkins, see if he can tally some more goals. As we said, he had 99 before this game started, scored 2. Now to mark his high school total of 101. And when Coach Brady said, Simpkins, boy, you're going to be up there. We're going to feed it to you. See if you can get some open space and get us some goals in there. Ended up happening at the end of the game, but I still think the game plan of both coaches, trying to go more offensive with Brunswick, try to go more containment defense for the Washington Jaguars. I think it just went the Railroaders' way today. But the Washington Jaguars cannot hang their heads. They scored 2 goals. Yeah, they let up 7. But, I mean, they played great containment throughout the whole entire game. A couple bounces didn't go their way. And you know what? They came out with a loss. But the real factor is they came out with a victory here in the sense of making it this far in the state tournament. That's something to be proud of. And Coach Brady should get all the praise to his players for executing his game plan throughout the season.
Oh, exactly. And you definitely... You can't fault Washington whatsoever. To make it all the way here to a title game is tremendous. And so give them the credit they deserve for what they've been able to do this season. And so for Washington, you lose a state title game, but you gain that experience. I know this is a senior-heavy team, but you do have guys like Marcus Fontaine, Matt Norris, Evan Johnson, Robert Horner, some freshmen, some juniors in there. So there's going to be guys left over from this team that are able to tell their players, the rest of their teammates, hey, let's win one here. We've made it there. I know what it's like to play in a state title game. That's what these players say. I don't personally know what it's like, but they're going to tell themselves, hey, let's get back to that big spot and let's try to win one. As for Brunswick, it's the same thing for their younger players. They can come back and tell their team, the future teammates, hey, we've won a state title. I know what it's like to be in this situation, especially for some of the freshmen in this, like Brandon Fowler, who scored a goal in this one, which was big. So this is great for Brunswick High School, and the Railroaders will be happy. And you know what? They're hoping their girls team is able to do the job as well as they take on Manchester Valley Mavericks at 2:30 this afternoon. Any final thoughts, partner?
I just have to say congratulations to the Railroaders of Brunswick High School. They had a great game, put a great showing on today, scoring 7 goals with 35 shots, 21 of those being on target. And congratulations to the Washington Jaguars for making it this far. They still got the runner-up trophy, and they have a lot of things to look forward to.
This has been a presentation of the boys' 1A state title game on the MPSSAA Network. We'll be back at 2:30 for the girls' 1A state title game between the Manchester Valley Mavericks and the Brunswick Railroaders. For my partner Mike Cerrone, I'm Ben Simpson, and we'll see you all day long here with the state title games on the MPSSAA Network.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.